Right, Archie. I start the videos now with that because the audio fucks up otherwise. It's good though, isn't it? It's a nice little this big glove puppy made out of a fox's head. Your dad's asked me to get in touch with you, mate. He wants a little bit of a pep talk for you, a little bit of a you know, like a well done, you know, because apparently you got merits in your in college. You did tell me what it was. Sorry, one second. What was it? Yeah, just in your A levels. You didn't actually say what your A levels were, which is about how I did. I think really. I did 2 years of A levels. I got the worst marks the college had ever seen for anyone that had done all of the biology tests and all of the resits. Failed biology like terribly. Did very poorly at that. But now I cut up animals for a living, mate. So fucking what do the teachers know, eh? They also told me that I would fail biology, and they were right. But then there's a part of me as well that thinks, you know, was that them being like, oh, we don't want to be wrong here, you know, we don't want to look wrong, you know, show weakness to this lad here, because you know he's a bit weird. Do we really want to show weakness to him? What we should do is we should fucking let's ruin his tests, change his tests. Maybe that's what they did. I don't know. But I'm a paranoid guy, innit? You know, fucking. I then did business studies, product design. Or whatever else, I don't remember. Then I went on to do college again, mate. I didn't know I'd go into college again. I did another 2 years of college after that for doing horticulture, a hands-on course, just fucking digging holes and building rockeries for 2 years, learning how to drive tractors and that, and use tractors and machinery and that, still saws and like stone cutting saws, man, it was good. So you know, you don't have to think to yourself, what's my future gonna be? Because that's a pointless way to think, man. Like, the only people that really stress out over that, I've noticed as I've gotten older, the people that were very adamant of, this is what I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be this, they don't do it. The people that are cool in school and college and that aren't afterwards, they peak there, innit? The people that are really, really, really intelligent tend to, from my experience, only really end up being very good at academia. Once they step out of that and get a job or something, they're fucked. They can do that one thing, but that's it, man. So, I mean, it's good that you've been working in Mackey's, innit? Because that's going to give you loads of different skills, man. People skills and that. And I know that some people would be, you know, you must experience it where people might look down on you for working in there. But there's no reason to, man. You've got a job, man. That's one of the main, in my opinion, one of the most important things of a person. It don't matter if a person's, you know, as thick as pig shit or a social butterfly. It doesn't matter if they're really intelligent or really good at problem solving. None of that matters, man, as long as they've got work ethic. As long as they're actually, like, you know, happy to work, want to work, willing to work, and feel weird when they're not working. That's all that really matters, man, because they're the people that will do well in life and do better, and, you know, do better than the parents did, because that's the whole point of life, innit? To do, you want to get yourself into a better position than your parents were in when they had you, so that if you decide to have kids, your kids can have a little bit of a better start in life than what you had. I think that's what's important anyway. And, you know, if you was to ask Henry, Freya and Rory, they'd probably say the same thing. It seems like you've had quite a good start in life though, really, because Henry's gone on to do construction, which is quite a well-paying job. Freya's going to be a nurse, which isn't a very well-paying job, but it's vocational, so she's probably quite happy learning how to do that and doing that, for now anyway, until the pressure starts to get to her. But, you know, maybe it won't, maybe she'll fucking thrive in that. And then you've got your what I assume is your youngest, Rory. He likes football and TikTok, so he's still happy being a kid and that. And you can still be a kid, bro. You've only just fucking left college by the sounds of it. And I mean, that feels massive now, doesn't it? That feels like the world's ended, because college is your, what would you call it? Like your umbilical cord to the world. And then some cunt just comes along with a fucking sword and a knife and just goes, off you fuck, go on, off you go now. No one cares about you no more, just fucking go, do your own thing. And that feels well weird, mate, for a couple of years. That I ended up going to uni, and I didn't even want to go to uni. But because I went to uni, I now do this as a job, because I misunderstood a university project and showed off to a girl I liked and ended up with a business that I'm now running full time, fucking, 6 years down the line. Since I made the first one of these, mate. So, you know, apparently you want to go to uni as well. You might be going to Aberystwyth Uni to do TV and film degree. Like, if you if you're passionate about it, mate, do it. But don't be doing it because you think that's something that you should do, or doing it because that's what other people are doing or out like that. Do something because that's what you're really into. It seems like you are, because your dad here is saying that you really like films and low budget horror films. So like, why don't you? Why, you know, you could write your own, or maybe start a little podcast or something where you discuss them, or you take them apart, or where you like talk through your own ideas and that, of little ideas you've got for shit horror films. Apparently you keep notes on your weird dreams, which is something I do as well. Sometimes I put them out on Patreon in what's called a daily update. They're not daily and they're not really updating you on anything, but it's just a useful name for that category of podcast on there. And I put them out as little podcasts. I used to have to write them down, bro, because I'm going to go and sit down. Because I used to have nightmares all night, every night, from about the age of, I'd say about the age of 13, 14, until maybe I was about, like, I'm 29 now, until I was about 26, 27. Just every night, mate, I'd wake up in pools of sweat and that, so I started writing them down, and it did me head good. I've had mad ones, man. Fucking, I discussed one the other day in a podcast where it was mad. It was like watching body parts grow out of propagation tubs. You know what you'd grow seedlings in and plant seeds in. Just watching fingers grow out of there and that. And I always get chased by people and get attacked by people and watch people get cut up and butchered while they're alive and that. And it's horrible. I remember one that I had when I was a kid where I watched my mum, my dad, their best friends and their sons. I watched them all die of some invisible disease in a bed, and I was forced to sit there and watch it. So it's just weird dreams like that. I had a weird dream last night where, like literally last night, where me and an old school friend were treasure hunters, and we had to break into this big fancy house, and we thought that this little, fat little Asian lady, be the best way to describe her. I don't know what sort of Asian, just that's what she was, and she was in the house, but there was loads of other people. It was a bit like the film Rat Race, you know, with Mr. Bean and like fucking Rowan Atkinson, where he's got narcolepsy. It was a bit like that, but it was all set in this house, and we were trying to work it out. And then we tried to break out because they wouldn't let us out, and then we couldn't get out of it. And then we tried kicking the door through and smashing the windows, and as soon as you'd smash the windows, it would reset you about 2 meters back, and the window would be fine, or the door would be fine, like unscathed. So then we decided, fuck it, let's just trash the house. And we started trashing the house, me and my old mate. And then we started to find little clues and that behind the wallpaper and behind the paneling, the wood paneling and stuff. And we were like, this is it, mate. This is what we need. So eventually we found this torch, and we had to hold the torch together because there was no thread for the battery cover. You know, like a screw thread, like when the top of a bottle. It had that, but it didn't have a thread. So you had to hold it for the circuit to work on the torch. You had to kind of hold it like this, or hold it with hold it like that to keep it working, or with your thumb on the end of it. And then when you'd shine the torch, you'd be able to see the shadows of pyramids in the air around you. And then you could walk, if you walked through those pyramids, you'd come out of the wall of another pyramid that was just like a shadow form in the air that you couldn't see without the torch. And then eventually we managed to figure out that we needed to get into the loft of this house. But then the closer we would get and the more clues we would solve, the angrier this fat Asian woman would get. And she'd start chasing us and trying to attack us and that. Until eventually I was climbing through this little, I don't know what they call it, the shaft of the loft hole, the loft hatch. Climbing through one of them, getting all scratched by the paint on it, because there was really sharp bits of where it's been painted over and over and over and over again. And it made the hole small, but like sharp bits. And I was cutting my arms trying to climb through, looking for this prize, this treasure. No idea what the treasure was. It was like fucking like Pulp Fiction suitcase, I presume. There is no treasure. I never found out what it was. And I was trying to get that, and I couldn't get it. And then I start to climb down, and then the Asian woman's chasing me, saying, you got to leave, you've got to leave, you've got to get out, you shouldn't know this. So shouting all this at me, which is another regular theme. I get chased by people telling me you shouldn't know this, you shouldn't be here, saying stuff like that as well. I get that an awful lot. And so then I started trying to break out, and then as soon as I got to the right, we found the right door using this torch. And then with the pyramid on the door, like in front of the door, if you like. And then she sort of came and went, if you use that door, if you go through that door, you will, I think, die. But I don't think she said the word die, but it meant die. It was just like a word, but I heard it meant die to me. And then she told us that we needed to leave through the east wing. And then I woke up. sort of going like like that. That's how I wake up from most of my dreams, bro. I had one a while ago where I had dreams where I was going to like, it was like a Jurassic Park style auction, you know, like the second Jurassic World film of the new Jurassic Park trilogy, where they're auctioning off dinosaurs, where they were doing that, but it was for guns. And I was trying to buy some guns, and some other people were as well, and then I got grabbed and fucking thrown through a window. It's just, I've gone for into my dreams a lot on there, man. You might enjoy it, mate. You might enjoy it. You can try it for free if you want, for fucking 7 days, you know. You're probably not old enough. You might have to ask your dad. You can sign up for you. If it's free, a free trial for 7 days, fucking listen to them on there, man. But his fucking dreams are mental, innit? I remember one that stands out a lot, which wasn't that scary, was like I'm sort of sledging, but there's no snow. And I'm going down this hill, and there's loads of sloths standing around, waving their arms in the air. And then one of them appeared really big in front of me face, like I'm looking through a camera like this. It just appeared big in front of me face, the face of it, and it just went, "The Jam!" And then I woke up going, like that from it. It was fucking, that was a weird one. But that's where I got the idea for the 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth book, weirdly. Because it pissed me off that they woke me up. So I was like, how can I fucking fuck sloths, man? So then I wrote the 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth book. But that's, I mean, I don't know what sort of dreams you have. But I've also been told that you've got an amazing head of lots of ginger hair. And I always wanted ginger hair, me. Because I wanted really tight, curly ginger hair, you know, so I could look like Kyle from South Park when he takes his hat off. But that's kind of what I wanted. I really wanted curly hair. But I didn't have it. I've got kind of straight, almost a little bit wavy hair. But it's down to here, man. I've grown it down here, mate. Fucking grow out your ginger hair, look like a nutter, you know, and then write fucking scary films, scary stories and that. I like it, man. I like the idea of scary stories. I like the idea of scary and funny stories, like combining the two in it. I think that's a proper, like, line where you can join those two things. But anyway, fucking well done with getting your merit, mate. I'll see you in a bit, man.